Residents in Lehae are concerned about the high crime rate in that region. They say acts of lawlessness such as hijackings, kidnappings as well as house robberies seem to be escalating. Many residents also note that there's a general lack of development, with the nearest police station being in Lenasia, which is 10 kilometers away. Let's cross live now to Newzroom Afrika's Katleho Sekhotho, who has more details. Katleho, we've heard from residents who are saying that they are besieged by criminality in Lehae. Are their concerns being addressed here?
Good afternoon, Tlantla. Certainly a big issue about escalating crime rates as experienced by residents here and expressed by them. And a lot of it has to do with just a lack of general development in the area. Now, certainly some of the crimes that they are dealing with involve hijackings as well as robberies, house robberies, assaults, and even in some cases murders. And so, what we've heard from the latest crime stats that were released by Police Minister Senzo Mchunu outlining the national picture. But when we delve into, Gauteng as a province, there was a slight decline in crime numbers. But if one zooms into communities like Lehae, you can see these specific communities still struggling with crime rates. And so the community really asking that police really ramp up their interventions, more boots on the ground and more visibility. And I think one of the biggest issues that's been highlighted by residents is one of tender mafias, which prevents there being development in the community. And we've heard earlier on from CPF member Godfrey saying there that the big issue is that when there's no development, people from Lehae have to walk long distances to Lenasia just to get services. But I do have with me a resident, Shepherd, just to give us more details, community leader here. Shepherd, thank you for your time. I mean, if you can just paint a broad picture of what some of the issues are in Lehae and what you hope that perhaps the police can do to help.
Okay, yes. Thank you very much for having me. As you can see in Lehae, we are really feel like we have been neglected by the police and then also the Premier of Gauteng. If you can see, as the residents of Lehae, we have tried to make some measures so that we can able to reduce the crime in the area because the crime is so much. We have tried to put on some boom gates, which is still costly for some of the residents because they are not working. And then also we've got people who give their life to patrol the area like the CPF, as you have just mentioned. But unfortunately, even last year, we lost one of the a member of CPF through these crime elements. And then also we have lost, unfortunately enough, the other one is still surviving. So we are appealing to the Premier and then also to the Minister of Police that please avail yourself, because if you go to area like Eldos or Inadel, you see the, what do you call it, the Panyaza, they are working on foot, patrolling the areas. But here in Lehae, it's like we are in a desert where government cannot able to listen to us. So we are appealing that these people who are giving their lives, can he please in-source them so that they can have income, so that they can able to support their family and also protect us. The other things, they don't have resources because they have to chase the criminal who's carrying a gun. Last week only we had, I think it's 4 hijacking in the area where people, when they come back from work, people, they will just wait by the gate and they point them with a gun and they take their cars. And then if you check, if we have to report to the police station, it's 10 kilometers away to Lenasia police station. And then in the area, there is nothing which is helping us as the residents, as I'm saying.
And I guess, Shepherd, on the note of lack of development, like you say, long distances to Lenasia just to access services. What is behind the lack of development as you've seen it as a resident in this area?
Yes, thank you very much for that question, because last week we were in the IDP meeting in Lenasia. I gave them a challenge that they must come and host those kind of meetings here in Lehae or in the area like Lehae so that they can able to see how people are struggling. And the other issue is that, which I give to the resident and to some other people, because if there is a development there are people who come and then feel like they have to own that development. If you can see here, we are having bond houses, and then those bond houses, when they come with that which people so-called 30%. And then if that 30% was used in a beneficial way, maybe we could be having other facilities which were going to belong to the public. But the problem is that when the project come, people will come in hijacking. They say that they want 30%. doing it like they're representing the community, whereas they're representing their pocket. I think that is the issue which the minister and also the premier must deal with it decisively, so that we can able to end this mafia tenderism.
Yeah. And I guess you've already said some of it, but just your message to government. I mean, when it relates to children not having to walk very far distances to get to schools, just your message to government about the urgency of the situation here.
Yes, I think the most important part is that if you can check in Lehae, it's huge. We're from phase 1 until phase 4, and we're not talking about residents who are staying here, more than 15,000 or 20,000 residents here, but we are struggling even to have a school. Our children have to depend on the scholar transport. What happened in the day where the service provider doesn't have a diesel, which means our children, they don't go to school. So we are appealing to the government, and we are appealing also to the Minister of Basic Education that please emphasize and fast track the process of building us a school, and also the clinics, because we've got our elderly people here. We've got people who are disabled and that they cannot able to rely on the public transport, because if you can check in the taxi, you cannot able to go in with your wheelchair. So we are appealing to them that they must fast track this issue and then bring us the library and also the clinic. The clinic, I think, is very much important, and then also the secondary school, because our children are not safe, because scholar transport, sometimes the bus is drunk, and then we have incident, and then we have to come and witness things which we are not even prepared to witness. So I'm appealing to those who are in power that please have us in your thoughts, so that we can able to have this massive development which we are appealing. Yes.
All right, we'll leave it there, Shepherd. Thank you so much. Nhlanhla, you hear it there from a community leader really appealing to government to step in and intervene here, because some of these social ills that they face every day really impacting their lives. Not having a school, for example, close by, which leads young children to walk long distances to schools, and just a general lack of development in the area, which also is a cause for concern and really exacerbates the situation, leaving many vulnerable to crime.
That's our reporter, Katleho Sekhotho, who's currently out in Lehae in the south of Johannesburg.